I become a little too shy for all's fair in love and war. So I snuggle up close to the shell I'm living in, and if I let you in, another round begins. No, I'm spinning in a vicious cycle. I'm scared of doing something I'll regret. Maybe this is right, but I'm still staring at your silhouette. But what if you're everything I need? A fire in my heart, the air I breathe. What if I'm incomplete without you by my side? What if I go against my heart instead of confessing from the start? What if I miss out on the life meant for us? I need you by my side.
Should I be scared? The feeling's so different now. They got me floating here, a feather in the air. Oh, but when the wind blows, will I tumble or sail away? Or would you have me stay? And what if I escape? I know
I'm spinning in a vicious cycle. I'm scared of doing something I'll regret. Maybe this is right, but I'm still staring at your silhouette. But what if you're everything I need? A fire in my heart, the air I breathe. What if I'm incomplete without you by my side? What if I go against my heart instead of confessing from the start? What if I miss out on the life meant for us? I need you by my side, by your side. I'm not afraid. We found something that'll never fade. We can be ourselves and figure out the rest along the way. What if you're everything I need? A fire in my heart, the air I breathe. What if I'm incomplete without you by my side? What if I go against my heart instead of confessing from the start? What if I miss out on the life meant for us? I need you by my side. I need you by my side. I need you by my side. What you think about when you're born into a fire? Let 'em burn it out. Sell 'em to the richest buyer. They wanna let the world decay. They tell us lies and fade away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, we kill it anyway. Listen up now, because we're never dropping out. Beat the odds, beat the big house. The brains are bigger than the doubt. We've been thinking for ourselves, never let the truth fade away. This is bigger than ourselves, we won't let the world burn away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. To blame, haters face the world's mistakes. Wake at the back of the pack.
Welcome back to Channel 10 News. You are watching The Strong Hour with me, your host, Spike Strong. Today I have with me our guest, the great congressman from the great state of Rhode Island, Brian Bubbles, and we have been dealing with this issue all day long on this channel. We've done nothing but talk about this issue. It is tearing apart the nation. Mr. Bubbles, Congressman Representative Bubbles is probably how I should address you. Thank you for coming on the show today. I really appreciate it. And can you tell me why it is that you feel that even though some people don't want to do it, you think they should have to?
Before I begin, Mr. Strong, just an absolute honor and joy to be here on the Strong Hour, Channel 10 News. It's my first time on the show. And as you can see here, I am in a bunker. I've been in this bunker for 18 months. Here in northern Rhode Island, the greatest state, some would say. Rhode Island, 1,214 square miles. We may be the smallest, but hey, strong. Sizes and everything.
Yeah, I can see why you'd say that. Yeah, but yes, sir, I asked you a question, Doug. Why do you Why is it that you feel like people should be forced to do it, whether they want to do it or not?
Forced to do it. It's about the betterment of the community, Strong. It's not freedom of choice. It's about loving your neighbor.
But what about those out there who feel like if you want to do it, you should do it, and if you don't want to do it, you shouldn't be forced to do it? What about that? What about the liberty-loving mindset of people out there?
Treating people in the service industry with kindness and respect, Strong, that's what we need to be doing. I'm talking about the frontline workers. I'm talking about the first ones touching it. That's what I'm talking about, Strong.
I mean, I understand what you're talking about, sir, but I'm asking you, what about the liberty-loving, liberty-minded people out there who feel like they shouldn't be forced, let's say, mandated from down on high, what to do?
There's the hot word. There it is. I thought we said we weren't going to use that. They have to deal with this issue all day, every day. These frontline workers, they're exhausted. They're exhausted, Strong. And you're going to sit here and use mandates?
It's not that big
mandate?
of a deal, Mr. Bubbles.
My publicist said you guys wouldn't say that word. That's a hot word for Bubbles. That's a hot word.
It may be a hot word, but that's the word that the American public is using. Are you trying to duck the American public, Mr. Bubbles?
Listen, this wasn't a problem this summer, Strong, but now in the fall, all this early fall, everything has gotten out of control. It wasn't an issue this summer, but now it is.
It is absolutely an issue for liberty-minded people out there who feel like they should not be told what they have to do. This is ridiculous. I don't have time every single day to just be rewinding videotapes before I take them back to Blockbuster, okay? And if I don't, I shouldn't be made to pay for it, okay?
You know, it is required that we pay. We have got to pay the $1 fee.
No.
It is a requirement to rewind. You rewind your VHS tape for the betterment of the community and for your neighbor.
That is a mandate, sir. That is a mandate. That's what that's called.
He said it again. It is about the frontline workers. They have to sit there all day and put the VHSs back into the machine. They are on the front lines day in and day out.
I'm just trying to be honest with the American people, okay?
This is no. You said I'm off the show. This is outrageous. This is outrageous.
The Strong Hour, everybody. We'll be right back.
Well, hey, Dylan, how's it going?
What's going on, man? Well, welcome into Voices of Verra, everybody. I see we got Homogenous is in here, Dante, Ariamanos, Warlord. We got all kinds of people in here checking out the show today. Thank you guys for stopping in, just like you guys have kind of made it a habit over the last few weeks, and we do.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming in. We don't have a cold open this week. We just thought we'd start with just thank you so much for coming out, guys, and being part of Voices of Verra tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I will, in the interest of full transparency, I will let you know that because of number one, Labor Day, and then number two, just kind of stuff that Tennman was dealing with, some stuff that was going on in my household. We did not get to spend like the incredible amount of time that we usually spend prepping for the show, so we don't have as much like just ready to go for you guys. But we do have plenty to talk about. There are a lot of things going on. We released our August update video today. There was a collaboration between the two of us. Some of the people here on the channel have no doubt already seen that, and then some have not. So we'll definitely be showing that off. We'll probably rewatch the Brew Bear video from last week because that was really popular and had a lot of people just going crazy over that the insanity of that particular piece of content. So
Zillin, I don't know who you got to do those raps, but it's a cool collab you're doing. Whoever that is.
I had to pay someone because I don't know anybody who has the talent to do that sort of thing. So
neither do I. I'm from rural Tennessee. I mean, I'd love to meet a rapper someday.
Right.
But really great, really great,
a rapper
great
just
work
looking for a
whoever
fight,
you hired.
Yeah.
I actually I've got my sparkle cup ready. Everything's blinked out now, baby. I'm a rapper.
I'm a rapper. Oh, that's so dumb. That's just so kidding, dumb, my friend. I love it. So one of the things that's definitely going on right now, and it's evident across like everybody who makes Ashes of Creation content is dealing with this, and that is just the simple fact that the views are down. The people have seen what they need to see. They know that there's no new information coming for the foreseeable future. And so it's like that, if they really care about Ashes or they really care about a specific creator, they might watch everything that that creator is doing. But across the board, it is quite down. You can even see in the comments, not the comments, but the viewer numbers that we got going right now. When we were doing this to 30 to 35 originally, and that number has just ticked down. And that's views across all YouTube and everywhere. So,
it's been it's certainly a difficult time to be an Ashes of Creation content creator, but for Zillin and I, for everything that we've been doing behind the scenes and just making the Brew Bear video was just an absolute blast. And watching Zillin get so much better at the editing skills and us working together and him getting faster and us working on the raps and everything, it is just an absolute joy because we're learning a set of skills and we will have all of these to share with people when the eyes do come back to Ashes. And it's also important that we do the show so that the fan base that is super interested in Ashes knows that we're here and that we're talking about it and that we're not going anywhere and that there will be, like we talked about. I mean, I talked about it a lot, the peaks and valleys, right? When we talked about we were going into a valley and we're certainly in it now.
Right.
It's just wonderful.
We're definitely at the valley. So Dante just says, do a spinoff of Voices of Verra based on New World until we get more content for Ashes and call it Audio of Eternum. Which is pretty funny, and that actually leads to kind of what I was what we were setting up there. So what we're going to do is we are going to make a new show. Let's call it a new show, and it'll have a new name, although the format will stay largely the same. And we're going to take Voices of Verra, and we're going to make Voices of Verra be a segment on that show. And then in February or next August, God, who knows how long it'll be before we actually have real Ashes content again. At that point, we will break Voices of Verra back out of whatever that show is and put it back on and have it be a regular week thing. So the name of this, it'll still be the same. It'll still be Friday night at 10 o'clock. It'll still be right here on my YouTube channel. This is where we're going to stream. I'm committed to streaming here on YouTube. So it'll still all be here, but it's going to be a different show, something different. But yes. We will have a Voices of Verra segment. So we will talk Ashes every single week. So next week we might talk about Final Fantasy 14, World of Warcraft, and Ashes, and then the week after that talk about some survival game and some ARPG and Ashes. So we'll make sure that we always have plenty of Ashes content for you guys, because that's kind of where we make our bones.
And that's absolutely. I mean, it's not that Voices of Verra, especially leading up to the weeks leading up to, once we have an Alpha 2 date, that it won't be super on everyone's mind again, that we can do more or even make the segment Voices of Verra the whole show in the weeks leading up to and the launch of Alpha 2 once again. We want to be a little bit more flexible. We want to bring you MMORPG content, ARPG content, RPG, and survival games. And by doing that, not only can we have content creators from that we hopefully bring in that are interested in Ashes of Creation, at least in some capacity, but can talk about their game or where they have found success or games that they are playing. I know that off stream, I've been watching Zillan playing one of the alpha or betas for Icarus. I don't know. I think it's a beta at this point, but which is a really unique survival game. And there's so much to talk about. And there's so much to talk about in correlating it back to Ashes of Creation, right? So if we're talking about another MMO, at the end of this month, we're, if there's not another delay, please, no delay. We can talk about obviously a lot of New World and watching New World's launch and comparing that to how we hope the Ashes of Creation launch goes. There's all sorts of things that we can still have our roots and our foundation always in Ashes of Creation, and always have, at least in some capacity, a Voices of Verra segment, but just expanding Voices of Verra into other games that we play and other games that we love, especially. And it's crazy that we did not prompt Dante to say that. Dante just made that perfect lead in for us wanting to talk about this tonight. So
yeah. No, it's my fellow neckbeards. Hey, welcome in, man. I recognize the name from the comments on the actual YouTube videos that I make. I believe that early on he was one of the guys that was following my channel a lot early on. So welcome into the channel, man. I do appreciate you coming by. If you haven't been here before, this is a crazy show we do here, and you just don't know what you're going to get from Ashes talk and other game talk to sketch comedy and bits and stuff. I think we might replay the open for the show today a little later on, because it's something else, man. It's a whole
we should do it again at the end.
Yeah, at the end or something. So we've been fortunate enough to have been sponsored every episode so far. And like the first week we were sponsored by Big Banana. You got Big Pharma out there, and you got the all these big conglomerates that are handling entire industries, so to speak. And it does seem like we get sponsored by a lot of those types of people. So Tin Man, who are we sponsored by today?
Yeah. So, there's a lot of bigs out there, but there's really nobody like Big Toy. Big Toy, I just want a huge shout out to Big Toy. Thank you so much, Big Toy, for sponsoring Voices of Verra this week. If you're feeling hot and heavy, look no further than Hot Wheels. The vibrations of this next toy have been wowing fans since 1995. This toy takes you all the way. I'm talking to infinity and then beyond. Buzz Lightyear, of course. Knock, knock on that hardwood. This next toy will give you his name is Woody. Barbie girl, you can brush my hair. Undress me everywhere. Need I say more? I like a big toy that can really build me up. Build with Legos. This next toy can put you in all different kinds of positions. Transformers, for when you want to role play. There are a lot of toys that take two hands, like a Rubik's Cube. But the technology today with Big Toy is stunning. What you can do with some of these new toys. I mean, two hands still needed for sure. But all the different settings and games you can play on a Game Boy Color. But nothing beats the kind of toy that tickles you. I'm talking really tickles your fancy. I am talking, of course, of Tickle Me Elmo, the hottest big toy of the year. Thank you again, Big Toy, for sponsoring Ashes of Creation's Voices of Verra this week. Zillan, back to you. They sent me.
I
They sent me that prompt.
I
by the
let
way.
him do that on my channel. Like I just let him do that on my channel.
They
Like,
sent
you
me
know
that.
how-
They sent me that prompt.
You know how like you make decisions and you say I want to do things and you know these sorts of things and you think it's going to work out okay and then when it actually happens you're like, "Oh, that was the wrong choice." Not related
right.
to anything that's going on now. I'm just wondering if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. No,
so-
we shouldn't have taken that money. We that was like they sent me that prompt, and of course I had to read it word for word. That's how a sponsorship goes.
Mhm.
But you're right. We shouldn't have. That was big money. That was big toy money. That was big toy money, and we shouldn't have taken it.
Yeah, you don't
So
want
here
to
we are.
take somebody's big toy money because that's how you okay. So we're gonna move on from that ridiculous advertisement of the week, sponsorship deal, if you will. So I want to talk a little bit about New World. Now I know
Yes.
this is Voices of Verra. This is an Ashes of Creation show, but we've already talked about. There's kind of a lack of content, lack of things to talk about. We have a big list, a Google document that we share that has a boatload of topics that we can cover for this particular for Ashes of Creation. But we're gonna break it up just a little bit. The New World beta is happening right now. It's like the fifth beta or something. That seems like they've done nothing. Did nothing but betas, but I know a lot of people that are playing it. I know that the patch notes have come out, and I have some concerns. I know that you have some other concerns. So why don't you kind of lay out what you're thinking about what's going on with New World right now? Go ahead and lay that out for me. Dude, Dante says New World, old beta.
New World old. Oh, I love you, Dante. Yeah, so the beta is there's a bunch of patch notes. I read through not word for word, but I read through most of them, and though there are a lot of lines of text, and I have it up here. It is almost all just like mathematical changes, whether going like the health pots were 160 at the beginning and now they heal you 200, or different small changes that are important, and there are bug fixes and there are tons of tweaks happening. But did we need to move the date back again for this? Is of course the question on everybody's mind. Seeing the patch notes, it's not like they even gave themselves enough time to did they put mounts in the game? No. Did they add content for more than 5 people at the end of the game? No, not at this time. None of you go through these patch notes, you can read through them. There are obviously things that people are excited about, and especially if you've been following this game for a really long time, don't want to just talk negatively about this game. I want this game to be super successful because it's good for Ashes. The rising tide lifts all ships that we so often talk about.
Yes, we do.
But yeah, I was excited. The game was coming out the day after my birthday. It was supposed to come out right at the end of August, and I just was super excited about it. I think everybody was. We talked about it before, taking off work, just ready to play after all this time. Was 3.5 weeks worth these bug fixes. Unfortunately, I think all of this could have happened at launch. Like, this didn't change what could have happened at launch, because there's going to be tweaks and changes, and there's going to be mathematical tweaks and changes every few weeks or every week, however they decide to do their updates and their patch notes. There will constantly be updates to an MMO. If they're big updates, it's worth not launching a game. If it's small updates like these, I would have launched at the end of August, and I would have kept making these changes through these tweaks and these number tweaks throughout the rest of the fall.
Right. No, I'm with you. I've been very confused by this whole situation, to be pretty frank about it. So we played New World. You played some. I played quite a bit. I knew a lot of other people that played a pretty significant amount in the beta. I know people who were playing back in the previous betas when it was a little more closed, or just flat out closed. And everybody's lukewarm on this game. Like, I do know that there has to be a ravenous fan base for this game somewhere. They do exist. I'm not saying they don't exist, but they definitely, like, it seems like the MMO community in general has looked at this game with a collective meh, like whatever. It's okay. And there were a lot of really specific points that were made during the New World beta, this open beta, about the gameplay loop and how shallow the game is and how you're going to run out of content in a couple of weeks and, you know, these sorts of things. And when they announced the delay of the launch, I thought, okay, they haven't given themselves enough time to change a lot of things, but maybe they have given themselves, they've said, okay, look, if we can just go in here and change this one thing, we can take what is a very shallow game and give it a little bit of depth. Something for people to hold on to while we get more content in the game and more reasons for you to play and all of these things. And it, by all appearances, they did not do that. This delay was completely pointless. Like, I hate to say that, but it was completely pointless. There was no reason for it if you're not going to do something that fundamentally changes the game and solves problems that other people have been talking about, especially when it concerns the depth of the game, which to me is there's nothing there at all as far as depth.
Yeah, and I love that you said lukewarm, and then I just saw Dante use the term as well. At the beginning of a relationship, you should be in the honeymoon phase. Like, if you're starting a new game, then it's like the world is your oyster. You're very excited about a new MMO coming out. Like, the way I look at it is, if I'm like starting a new game, you know, like that hype, like everybody was playing Valheim, and like I'm not even a huge survival game player, but I was like, yeah, let's do it. Let's all play Valheim. And then there's like the excitement and there's the real energy of that first week when you're there and you're with all your friends. And I remember there's yes, that dies off, but it never starts at lukewarm. There's the honeymoon phase in a video game when you're at the very, very beginning of it, and seeing everyone right now just being like, I mean, yeah, we're excited, kinda, is like exactly what you don't want. I would actually rather, and we've talked about this before, I'd rather somebody love or hate it. Right. At least you have an emotional response, right? Even if they came to our content and they were like, you guys are ridiculous, I hate you, I'd be like, well, I'd rather you hate us than not have any feeling when you hear what we have to say in our ridiculous rap videos, you know, everything that we're doing. So the lukewarm is, like, in my opinion, the worst case scenario for not having an emotionally charged base in your game. Like, if like the lore, for instance, there's these like 14 pages that you have to find that are kind of like hiding around, but it's like scattered and you can just walk past them and it's not important. And as beautiful as the world is, it literally, it's not a combat thing. It's not like the combat depth or weight that we talk about in Ashes of Creation. But we have seen where, like, there's not a depth to lore or depth or weight to the world in New World. And that's where I'm like, you guys spent so much money on this game, and it is so visually beautiful.
It's a beautiful game.
Sun comes through, like the sun comes through the trees, and I'm like, and the trees are like swaying, and the ocean's moving, and I'm looking around like, this game is so beautiful. I wish it had content I want to play. I wish it had the depth. I want to hang out here because it's so gorgeous. But what am I going to do? And this like, why am I already feeling this way when I should be feeling the honeymoon phase? Nothing should be wrong at the beginning. You should. And then I already, like, an hour into the beta again, I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah, like I'm missing something, and it's like an oomph energy thing that like emotional thing that I can't even fully describe. It's just this feeling of like, I could log off. But you want a game like, remember like Tribes of Midgard, which just came out as well? Amazing honeymoon phase. Didn't last very long, but the honeymoon phase was awesome, and you like did not want to log off. You could spend like 8 hours and be like, holy shit, I just spent 8 hours on Tribes of Midgard. I felt like it was an hour.
Definitely did that. You want.
Yeah.
You brought up Valheim, and Valheim is a great analog for this. So you take Valheim, which was a little known game. They said, hey, look, our game's in early access. Woohoo! The 5,000 people who are interested can get it. And it was like, that thing caught on fire. Like, I mean, they went from 5,000 to 50,000 to 500,000 to 1 million to 5 million in like 6 weeks, like crazy sales numbers. And it was an incredible game, and that's why it went crazy. And then you look at New World, and it's like, I was on there, and even for a beta, which is supposed to be like everybody's excited to play, and it was just like it just fell off. Like the second day, most of the queues went away. There were a few servers that still had queues, but most of the queues went away. You know, the people there weren't very many people around. It just got really, it just didn't withhold anybody. And it seems like to me that people are excited about new MMO, not excited about New World. Like that's what they're excited for, is new MMO.
Good take. Good. That's soundbite of the whole stream tonight. Yeah.
So yeah, that's how I feel about that. And if you look at like the excitement around Ashes of Creation, and it's just crazy. And if they launch those servers tomorrow, people would come flooding back to watch whatever content that they could get from Ashes. And it seems like New World, I don't think it has it. And then Danny Van Holst here made a comment earlier on in the comment section about hoping the game doesn't go pay to win. And to me, it's like you're getting double smack if you have a boring, contentless, shallow game that's also pay to win. It's not gonna work, my dude. Like that's not gonna work out too well. So, I'm not too thrilled. I'm not too thrilled about this. Kurio Hametsu says, "Wave from the Revis Order." The Revis Order was a guild in Star Wars: The Old Republic that was, I think that they were kind of moving on to other games, or maybe moving on from the raiding scene, as my guild was like rising up in the raiding scene. But we always knew who they were, and they came and raided with us. Sometimes we raided with them. Sometimes good dudes run that place. Des Revis, who also was in the Ashes of Creation Alpha 1. I'd see him running around the map every once in a while. So thanks for stopping in and watching. And we hope Revis Order does well in Ashes when that time comes.
Hell yeah. I just realized that Tennman might stand for Tennessee Man. It does. I had to read that out. Warlord, I am from Nashville, born and raised.
Yep,
Nashville,
he is.
Tennessee.
That is exactly what it stands for. The little red ball with the blue stars or whatever is kind of like me trying to take the Tennessee flag and like make something that resembles a logo for Tin Man. So
yeah, no, it was awesome when you made this. I was like, wow, that is so cool. I was very grateful. But yeah, I mean, I would say, what you said about that, like people are like excited for a new MMO. I couldn't agree with you more. It's just there's so few that come out.
Yep.
And everyone knows that Amazon has put a ton of money into this, and people that love MMOs are all in on the MMO genre being successful. We really believe in MMOs, and we want to support MMOs. But then we're like not excited about New World. And I saw some of the comments too, just about like what is the story. And like, even if you don't want to follow the story, or you're not, I'm not the biggest lore guy in the world, but I want to know, like, I want to see the macro at the beginning. I already saw some amazing things in the Alpha 1 with Ashes of Creation, where you're level 1 and you're in the starting camp and you are getting level 15 quests. And it just made you feel like there's like a goal.
Right.
Like it actually that was a brilliant idea, because it incentivizes you to level. And to be like, oh, like when I get, there's like already things to do at 15. I'm only level 1. Wow, I've got quite an adventure ahead of me. And then there was this, what is essentially in the Alpha 1, what Final Fantasy 14 players would call the MSQ, the main story quest, where you could go through pretty long quest chain that taught you and talked about corruption and what it does to people's minds. And you were talking to the hermit at one point in the Alpha 1, and he was losing his mind, and you were like, man, this guy's not doing well, and what is corruption, and this seems to be important, and who were the first people through the gates from Sanctus. Like, I'm not a lore guy, and I'm sitting there like, I'm all in on the lore. They got me hooked, and it makes sense.
It was
in
like
the storyline.
4% much more lore that's coming. We barely got any, and you're still already hooked. So Dante points out that the game is not launching with any good content and only has a box cost with no subscription. Without pay to win, they can't finance more more content for the game in the future. And that is 100% accurate. That's a great comment. And I was going to point out, and I know I've said this before, but I'm playing the game. Like, I own New World. I'm going to play. I'm going to be there on launch day. I'll probably be streaming right here on YouTube on launch day, New World. But well, that's strange. But the thing is, I'm going to level to whatever the max level is, build out my character however, and level up a craft. And then I'm not touching the game until there's new content. I'm just going to sit. I'm just going to wait. I think that there's something there. Like, there could be stuff that's interesting and compelling and a reason to want to log in. But right now it doesn't have it for me. I think that the whole settlement PvP system is like janky and doesn't really have a purpose. Like, there's not really much of a difference between owning a settlement and not. And so, that's that. I just don't see a reason for it right now. So that's my plan. Is I'm just going to wait. I'm getting a report here that the video. I don't know what they said. Are people experiencing buffering? Because YouTube is like yelling at me and saying that we're not receiving video. Or not receiving enough video. Danny Van Holst said, we are, I think, the most passionate and oldest community in gaming with MMORPGs. We had years and years of amazing content and games, but we were fed crappy games for years now, like when Blizzard was passionate and create one of the best games ever made. But like most big companies, they eventually get run by people caring about profits and stocks. That's exactly accurate. So we are getting some problems. I don't know why. That's really strange. Like, we have a very high bit rate. The internet is really strong. I don't understand what exactly is going on here.
Yeah. This is I would have expected this last week with our first week jump over to YouTube, but we haven't had this problem on Twitch or YouTube before.
No, we haven't had this problem before, but we'll just keep through. It looks like it's come back, so we're okay. So one thing we like to do on this show is we like to shout out other streamers, usually in the Ashes of Creation community, but as we expand the show to cover more games, we may cover streamers from other games. But we like to give a shout out to one of our favorite streamers or content creators. The streamer shout out of the week, if you will. Tennman, what do we got this week?
Yeah, absolutely. Big shout out to our dear friend Bartik. Bartik, everybody. Do you like living in really frigid, cold, mountainous regions like the Eastern Continent? Like the Eastern Continent and Ashes of Creation? Then join Bartik. He lives in the mountains of Colorado here in the United States of America, and he likes drinking what was legal, then illegal, and now legal again, alcohol. That's right. He runs a distillery. And he is actually going to be leaving all content creation to go run his distillery. We're going to miss him. I just love you, Bartik. Two Guys in a Bar. It's actually just going to be called Two Guys and a Moving Forward on Wednesday nights. We love you, Bartik, and we're going to miss you. All right, big shout out of the week for our boy Bartik.
For our boy Bartik. All right, man. Yeah, we love Bartik around here. I love that one was once legal and then illegal and then legal again. Oh God, the level of stupidity of the stuff that you come up with on a daily basis, to be honest, is it's just outstanding. Golly, man. So I know that with us being on YouTube, there are a lot of people who are watching who have not been a part of what was going on Twitch during Alpha 1 month-long test. They weren't over on Twitch, and so they don't know the insanity and just the craziness of everything that was going on and kind of all the little sub memes that started within each of our communities. And so just to give just a little bit of a backstory for those of you who are here, which, by the way, we appreciate all of you who are watching. I figured out that I could have my Twitch channel set up where people could play, the guests, the viewers could play sound bites over my stream, which I know that's not like uncommon. I'm not saying I'm a genius for figuring it out. I'm saying I figured out that I could do it. I was like, oh, let me do this. And I did not turn off the ability for people to play Baby Shark, which was a massive, massive mistake. It was so bad. They just started playing it nonstop. And then we started Voices of Verra, and we had a segment we called Thirsty for Theorycraft. And it was this idea where we're going to do Thirsty for Theorycraft. We're going to let the community choose what they would like us to Theorycraft on. It could be about actual creation. It could be about life. Just throw it out there. No politics or religion, please. And that was what we were going to do. And the very first week of us doing it, this fool sitting over here, that guy right there, started singing Theory Shark. Theory Shark. Just started singing it like no big deal. And of course, I had to run out of here because that was complete BS. So then we've renamed the show, or not the show, but the segment to Theory Shark. And we made a little splash screen and like a woohoo, this is when it's starting. So when you see the Theory Shark screen come up as soon as you see it, you type in whatever thing you want us to talk about, us to Theorycraft on. The very first one that's appropriate to talk about. We've had a couple of inappropriate topics. Appropriate to talk about. We will Theorycraft on that. So for many of you, your very first time ever, welcome to Theory Shark.
Theory Shark, do 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 do. Theory Shark, do 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 do. Theory Shark, do 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 do. Theory Shark.
Yeah. Theory Shark. Theory Shark. Theory Shark. Yeah. God, such a great song. Thank you, Zone. What are we theory sharking on this week?
Do you guys realize that because this, I hardly want to call him a human being, this person made up that song, I then had to go take the audio and purposely make that whole ridiculous screen that you look at. I had to go make that in Photoshop. I had to do the work. I'm not okay with this.
Oh, that's so much fun.
Kurio Hemetsu says town spread of development. I don't know what that means.
I'm trying to imagine that the word town is, of course, the rank 4, just above village, just below city and ashes of creation, okay? And then spread, something that you do with butter of development. We are between the Alpha 1 and Alpha 2 development. Level 4 butter. I don't know. I don't know how to decipher that code. It's a deep code.
I don't. Yeah, he got me. He got me with that. Warlord said, "Don't use this one." But just thinking out loud, will there be shark mounts? Well, listen here, Warlord. Let me tell you a little something that you may not have known. This is my show. If I want to use it, I'm going to use it, and we're going to use it. How about that? So, Tin Man, take it away. Will there be shark mounts in Ashes of Creation?
That is a fantastic theory shark of the week, indeed. Yeah, I think shark mounts would be amazing. We know there's going to be naval combat. Everyone's always talking about naval combat ship to ship, like in Sea of Thieves. But what about shark to shark? I'm talking underwater mount combat in Ashes of Creation. Steven, we need an answer. We need an answer on this right now. We need sharks who can attack. We need sharks that have abilities that can attack other players in the water. If you fall off a ship, nom nom nom. You're dead. That's my loot. Enjoy the long run back from the white sparkly things. We're out in the middle of the ocean. I think we need shark mounts. Who disagrees with me? You know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about. I had this whole thing set up, and I was planning on I had a funny joke set up, and it was all going to be good and all that stuff. And then your dumbass said white sparkly things. So you definitely
white sparkly graveyards.
Warlord says, if someone falls off a boat, I want my shark to eat them. 100%.
Exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
Absolutely. Chat is going crazy. Their people are just coming in with all kinds of comments. They can definitely smell the blood in the water. Have they show skin for houses and such yet? I've been out of the loop. You know what, my fellow neckbeards, skins for houses. That's kind of. Are you talking about freeholds? Or are you talking about the houses that are actually on the node? Because one of the things that happened at the very, very end of Alpha 1, like the last 2 days, when they were running around and like leveling everything up and giving everybody, just kind of let everybody see everything, is they had a village of all three racial influences. So there was a human village, an elf village, and a dwarf village. And I went around in game and recorded myself checking out the walls and the towers and like everything inside, including the houses of all the different racial types. And I plan on putting out a video at some point showing off, exactly what we have as far as what each style of village looks like from a racial perspective. If you're talking about the freeholds, no, we've seen nothing on freeholds. I know a person who has been asking for the live stream update for months and months and months and months on end to explain what we're buying when we buy the freehold skin every month. Is that for like a stable? Is that for a building? Is that for a forge? Like, what is that skin for? We don't know, and they won't tell us. And so this particular person is like, I'm done. I'm not going to buy any more skins until they tell me what the hell I'm buying. So yeah, if you're talking about that, then no, we don't have anything. But if you're talking about the cities and the racial influence on the cities, then I do have that video, and I plan on putting it out at some point.
Yeah, and neckbeards, again, that will be influenced by the just to confirm and to reiterate, that will be influenced by the amount of people who contributed in that node on what race they had chosen. So it won't be random. It will be like if a bunch of your friends all start as dwarf and you're all in that zone together, those buildings will of course will take on that dwarf housing, at least in regards to being inside the city, because you will have created essentially a dwarven village.
Right. Absolutely. And that didn't happen naturally. Like with the like every town was human. Whenever they weren't leveling up towns, every city was human, and that is something that I'm a little bit concerned about. Is like, are you just going to have so many people that just go with the basic race that every town ends up being human in the future? Once the game actually launches. Now, that may just be most of the alpha testers, they've done it a million times. They don't even care to pick a race. They just pick the damn class and go in and start leveling because the servers are going to get wiped tomorrow. Who gives a crap? That sort of thing. So we'll see. But definitely early on, I noticed that every town was human and there were towns.
Yeah, that's actually a really interesting point because that's so much development time and effort through the town, through village and town, into cities and metropolis for what could be seen very, very, very rarely.
Very rarely.
So
now, I suspect
that is actually really.
Des says, I saw elven towns pop up naturally on Norland. I did see a couple of elven towns on occasion. Every once in a while, you get an elven town, and the biggest problem with that is if you're not paying attention, the elven and the human cities look close enough the same that you have to like oh, this one's elven. It's obvious if you're looking, but if you're not looking, whereas the dwarven town, like you can't walk through a dwarven town without knowing, oh, this is not the same as what I've been doing. I think the dwarven towns look absolutely fantastic. I think they look great. So Dante says, I just realized something. Neckbeards don't sound that gender inclusive until you realize that female dwarves and ashes can have beards. That's so funny.
They are so sexy, those female dwarfs.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. You gotta get some of that action. It's so definitely something I thought about whenever we were trying to come up with the name for my community. I thought just calling we're the neckbeards. I thought that would be really funny, even though it had nothing to do with my name. I thought that'd be a funny way of doing it. Des says the last day had a dwarven town, but not sure if it was forced. It was, because it was Elion. The Elion node was dwarven, and that's because Stephen went and leveled that node whenever he was calling everybody on to have everybody come in and get free levels and run through the dungeons and all that stuff. Patrick says, "What's up, man?" Hey, Patrick, how you doing, man? Thanks for stopping in. We appreciate it. Mr. Butterfly says you can really tell the difference between the town halls. That was where it's the most noticeable. The human and elven town halls are both really tall and look pretty different from one another, but they're both really tall. And the dwarven is it's a short building. I mean, it's not like dwarven short, but it's a short building. It's not a skyscraper by any stretch. So yeah, you can definitely tell the difference with that one with the town hall.
Danny asks, are there also variations between the different race variations? I think I know what you mean by that. And yes, like with the elves, there's going to be more of what would be considered a high elf. And then there's going to be a wood elf, if you want to think of it in those terms. There are what we would consider to be traditional mountainous dwarfs. And then there are,
he might be asking, I think he's asking, will the Empyreans and will the Kalar and Valoon have separate racial influences? And I don't think so. I think that it's
that would be
per race. I think that's what
that is probably what Danny meant. Yeah. Going in that would be 9 different ways this town could look if we added the Tolnar instead of what we've seen so far, which is 3, obviously, and what a max of 5 if they allow the Tolnar. I don't know the answer to that off the top of my head, Zillin. I know that we obviously haven't seen the Tolnar. We haven't seen any of the orcs yet. But will there be 4 for the 4 major races, or will there be 5 variations of a town? I don't know the answer to that question.
I don't know the answer to that question either. It's a good one.
I hope that the Tolnar get one as well. But once again, how often will we see the furries take over an entire village? That's going to be. Whew.
So I have these. I have these saved, but I don't think I've edited them at all. So, I don't know if they have sound.
Oh la la! Can y'all hear any sound?
I have no idea.
Sub races will have different architecture, Dante. That is just so much. That is so much development. Not that I'm opposed to that, but that is so interesting.
So this is an elven town here that we're showing, and I literally just ran through the different towns and just checked them out. Went inside some of the buildings. This one here, that little wall right there that you're looking at, that's where the door is for the other 2 races, but it's not there for that race, and it really confused me. I was like, where the hell's the door to this place? But yeah, you got your town hall, but you can really see the elvish influence on this. There's the kind of gold inlay everywhere, and the kind of the more curvy lines. And you can definitely see the elvish influence here. It's pretty cool. So let me go ahead.
Go ahead. Oh no, 103 to 118 nodes per server with 10k server cap makes math easy. About 100 players trying to improve their node. If everyone was divided equally, yes, Warlord, but we are certainly going to see massive amounts of people gathering in one node, pushing it, especially at launch, as fast as possible from the wilderness to create the first metropolis to push for that rush, especially with big guilds. So there will be areas too, because of the vassal system, that they're just very, very low. That there's just not a lot of people in. That there's it will not be.
Yeah. So here you're looking at the town hall.
100 people. Yeah.
So just right there, you're looking at the town hall. That's it right there. And you think about that big, huge, tall building in the Elven place, and you can just see the architecture is completely different here. It's very much dwarven in nature as opposed to the Elven. A lot more stone and grays and bronzes and stuff. I think that's really cool.
Dante says there will be I actually, and so Dante has written it out there that there will be different architecture for every subrace.
Subrace,
and I have
okay.
to say, I actually couldn't disagree with that more. I think at some point it is such a massive undertaking to create the MMO when you've never created a game, and I want to see the node system, and I want to see it function, and I want the caravan system and naval combat and everything that they've had to promise. It seems superfluous. That to me, I would do 4 or 5 if you had the Tolnar, but because especially from the lore standpoint, I'm shocked that they're like, I mean, they are different for us to play, and they'll have some differences, which is unique and important from where they come from, and being an elf, being a dwarf, being a human, an orc, and that being what is overarchingly important. There are some things that have been said over the years, and we've certainly talked about this in regards to the wiki as well, Zillin, that are years old now, or were some excited claims made by Steven in 2018 that maybe I'd be excited for him to go back on. And that would be one of them. I don't want him to go back on the don't get me wrong, on the glue, the node system and everything that has to function. That all has to be there. That all has to function for the game to launch. But there's some little things like that where I'm like, really, 9 different types of cities? That's just so much work for the team.
It's an incredible amount of work for the team.
I'm not jealous. Maybe I'm not jealous. Maybe I'm selfish and I want to see the game come out sooner. And I'm like, just make 4, don't make 9. So, but yeah. Thank you, Dante.
Yeah, no, that's very cool. Thank you, Dante. Appreciate it. So there's a segment we didn't do last week because YouTube does not have a built-in polling feature. And so one of the things we like to do is have the community give their feedback on stuff, and the poll of the week or a meme of the week or this sort of thing, and let the community give their what they feel about something. But obviously, without the ability to poll, it's hard. And we could do a straw poll, which would send everybody off to another site, and I don't want to do that. So I think I've come up with kind of a pseudo solution. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the meme of the week up. We're going to let you guys check it out, and then you just put the number 2, 3, 4, or 5 for how many Stevens out of 5 you rate the meme of the week, which will be the meme that I put up. And of course, we do not have a 1-star because all Ashes of Creation memes are, by their very nature, at least 2 stars. So, Danny says, my feedback is you guys kept me watching instead of gaming after a night shift. No, hey, we'll take it. We will take it. That's good. I appreciate it. So I'm going to put up the meme of the week. You guys just let us know 2, 3, 4, or 5. We will count them up since it's not just a ton of people watching. It should be easy for us to count up, and then we will give a score to the meme of the week. All of the previous memes have been video. This one is just a picture. I believe it's this one, right? One does not simply PvE without also PvPing in Ashes of Creation. This is going back to a old school meme format. One of the originals, of course, with Boromir and his one does not simply line from Lord of the Rings, from Ashes of Creation. Goodness, what's wrong with me? And yes, it's very true. It's very true. It made me laugh. Once again, just type in chat 2, 3, 4, or 5. How many Stevens out of 5 you rate this meme, and we will assign a score here very soon. One does not simply PvE without also PvPing in Ashes of Creation. And if I had the ability to do the accent, I would, but I can't do the accent.
I voted.
You voted?
I hope I'm allowed to vote.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Am I allowed to vote?
Yeah.
I voted.
Are you watching the stream?
Yeah, I'm in the stream. Of course I voted. I love it. Yeah, that's actually, I actually have a really cool, as somebody who has an acting degree, I have a really amazing story from that scene. Boromir was not supposed to have all of the lines that he has in that scene, and Peter Jackson actually handed him page and was like, "These are your new lines, and we're starting to film now." And the actor actually taped those lines to his thigh. And the scene where he's looking down and he goes, when he says that, and he's looking down at his right thigh, he's reading it off and then lifts his head to say it, which is actually in the movie. Little bit of a Lord of the Rings behind the scenes acting moment. He was reading those.
Tennman, this is a conversation that you and I haven't ever had.
Yeah.
Are you
Lord of the Rings?
Are you a Lord of the Rings nerd?
I am. I have seen all of the extended editions. I'm a big Lord of the Rings nerd. So we'll have to talk about that more. We need a new segment, a Lord of the Rings segment.
A Lord of the Rings segment, yes.
Yeah.
So I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 votes of 4 stars or 4 Stevens. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 votes of 3 Stevens. So the voting is up, and this we're going to say that this meme right here, this beautiful meme, gets exactly 4 Stevens out of 5.
Oh, it's only if it's 5.
The confetti only happens if you get 5. That's the only time.
I prematurely sparkled all over the place there. My apologies, everyone.
That's a common problem with you.
I went sparkles and then nothing came up, and I was like, "Oh, that's right."
That was kind of awkward.
Out of 5 good stuff. Oh.
Golly, and you're supposed to be the host of the show. I mean, you should know these things.
I should know these. I actually realized it right after I did it. Wait, Danny said 4 Stevens. I would give 4.5, but I don't want to hurt Steven. That's an amazing. I just love the way you said that. That's so well done. Yeah, and Dante suggests calling it the Lore of the Rings segment.
Lore of the Rings, yep.
Again, brilliant wordplay from Dante.
Dante says, my mom is a doctor, and she says it's common with men your age. Premature sparkling everywhere.
That's a stab, Dante. I just turned 30. I'm aware of that. I'm aware of what you did there.
What has this show devolved into?
Oh, that's so good. But yes, no, Lord of the Rings. I actually talked about Lord of the Rings just in general because of you can see the influence that Stephen is such the sense of, and really just across all of fantasy, but you got the human, the elf, the dwarf, and the orc, and how Stephen has taken that and also added so much to it, creating the sub races and everything else that went with it. So,
I'm sorry, Danny says shots fired prematurely.
Shots fired. Danny, I just turned 29. One more year until the end of my life. Hey, wait, Danny, come on. Well, hold on. Come on, dude. I'm 30, but wait a second. No, I love it. Yeah.
So Dante says, wait, Zillin, I have an important question. If you had to give a meme 4.5 Stevens, would you cut Steven's face vertically or horizontally for the half? I mean, these are the questions. These are the questions that we should be asking ourselves and trying to figure out in society.
That is a tough question. We'll get back to you next week on that. We'll work on that. I mean, that's the kind of information the Ashes community needs right now. And it's our responsibility to do the due diligence and research in it and come back to you with
we can't just answer a question that important just off the cuff. Like the research needs to be done. We have to look into it. Now Danny's coming in and saying maybe diagonally. Like that's what I'm saying. There's a third option that no one had even considered. So it's important. See, Imogenous is saying definitely diagonally. So
I love this so much. I love this so much. This is the longest theory shark we've ever had, and we're just like it's turned into theory sharks, where it's just so many questions. I love it.
Like I said, the chat smells the blood in the water.
Blood in the water, theory sharks this week.
Yep.
We are taking responsibility for that question. We take each and every question, everything we do here, we take very, very seriously. As you know, this is the most serious show in Ashes of Creation. We are going to be your lifeline for serious, focused Ashes content. Always on the rails here. Voices of Verra.
Yeah, we don't get off the rails. Yeah. We do not get off the rails. So since we don't get off the rails, we're going to do something we totally planned, and we knew this was going to happen ahead of time. We are going to play the open of the show from today one more time because there weren't a lot of people in here at the open of the show, and it was a pretty silly way to open the show. We had a good time doing it. So. And once again, for those of you guys who are on YouTube who were not watching early on Twitch, we have a segment called Channel 10 News that we have been doing pretty much every week except for last week, where Tin Man was going out onto the streets and interviewing people about Ashes of Creation. And so we had to create this fake news organization called Channel 10 News. And so this right here is how we started out the show today. Welcome back to Channel 10 News. You are watching The Strong Hour with me, your host, Spike Strong. Today I have with me our guest, the great congressman from the great state of Rhode Island, Brian Bubbles, and we have been dealing with this issue all day long on this channel. We've done nothing but talk about this issue. It is tearing apart the nation. Mr. Bubbles, Congressman Representative Bubbles is probably how I should address you. Thank you for coming on the show today. I really appreciate it. And can you tell me why it is that you feel that even though some people don't want to do it, you think they should have to?
Before I begin, Mr. Strong, just an absolute honor and joy to be here on the Strong Hour, Channel 10 News. It's my first time on the show. And as you can see here, I am in a bunker. I've been in this bunker for 18 months. Here in northern Rhode Island, the greatest state, some would say. Rhode Island, 1,214 square miles. We may be the smallest, but hey, strong. Size isn't everything.
Yeah, I can see why you'd say that. Yeah, but yes, sir, I asked you a question. Why do you Why is it that you feel like people should be forced to do it, whether they want to do it or not?
Forced to do it. It's about the betterment of the community, Strong. It's not freedom of choice. It's about loving your neighbor.
But what about those out there who feel like if you want to do it, you should do it, and if you don't want to do it, you shouldn't be forced to do it? What about that? What about the liberty-loving mindset of people out there?
Treating people in the service industry with kindness and respect, Strong, that's what we need to be doing. I'm talking about the frontline workers. I'm talking about the first ones touching it. That's what I'm talking about, Strong.
I mean, I understand what you're talking about, sir, but I'm asking you, what about the liberty-loving, liberty-minded people out there who feel like they shouldn't be forced, let's say, mandated from down on high, what to do?
There's the hot word. There it is. I thought we said we weren't going to use that. They have to deal with this issue all day, every day. These frontline workers, they're exhausted. They're exhausted, Strong. And you're going to sit here and use mandates?
It's not that big of
a
deal, Mr. Bubbles.
My publicist said you guys wouldn't say that word. That's a hot word for Bubbles. That's a hot word.
It may be a hot word, but that's the word that the American public is using. Are you trying to duck the American public, Mr. Bubbles?
Listen, this wasn't a problem this summer, Strong, but now in the fall, all this early fall, everything has gotten out of control. It wasn't an issue this summer, but now it is.
It is absolutely an issue for liberty-minded people out there who feel like they should not be told what they have to do. This is ridiculous. I don't have time every single day to just be rewinding videotapes before I take them back to Blockbuster, okay? And if I don't, I shouldn't be made to pay for it, okay?
You know, it is required that we pay. We have got to pay the $1 fee.
No.
It is a requirement to rewind. You rewind your VHS tape for the betterment of the community and for your neighbor.
That is a mandate, sir. That is a mandate. That's what that's called.
He said it again. It is about the frontline workers. They have to sit there all day and put the VHSs back into the machine. They are on the front lines day in and day out.
I'm just trying to be honest with the American people, okay?
You said I'm off the show. This is outrageous.
Strong Hour, everybody. We'll be right back.
That I don't understand why people scream and yell about VHS tapes so much. You ever notice how much people scream about VHS tapes? James says, "Please be kind, rewind." Yeah. Bubbles missed a real opportunity to say that there.
He sure did. He sure did.
He really did.
A better show host, a better actor, just a better human in general would have capitalized on it, kind of like James did there. James clearly a better human and actor than Mr. Bubbles.
Yeah.
We did that. Like we thought of that, thought it was a good idea, planned it and executed it, and then showed it to people twice.
Yeah, that's on the internet now. That's
Right.
that's gonna be on the internet, and my grandchildren are gonna be like, that's my granddad in the orange undies. That's him. Look at him go.
Yep, look at him go.
Yeah, there he is. Yeah.
So yeah,
Wow.
I just please next time have Bubbles on the show.
like answering questions about Ashes of Creation. Video games are destroying the foundation of our youth. We don't need Tennman. All we need is Bubbles.
All we need is Bubbles. Yep, that's pretty good.
All we need is Bubbles. Bubbles. Yeah. That'll be fun.
No. We are not writing that song and putting it to music and sending it to me to have me put together like an intro. No.
All we need is Bubbles. Bubbles. All we need is Bubbles. Brian Bubbles. I'm sorry, this is derailed further than the show has ever derailed. I just got myself doing a singing bit live. If y'all think that this is scripted, whoo boy, you know now it's not. The album cover will be a guy in a tux inside a big bubble. I love you, Danny. Danny and I are doing great. Danny and I are writing a show right now, Zillion. Danny and I are writing a whole show. This is great. We're going back and forth.
Okay, we need to move on before I have a brain aneurysm right here live on stream. So I do want to move on to another Ashes topic.
Yes.
So this is actually, I don't even know if you're looking at the shot sheet, if you even know that I put a topic in here, if you're even prepared to talk about the topic that I have prepared for here. You are.
I am.
Oh, okay.
A lot of people. Yeah. So I'm a huge fan of Final Fantasy XIV now. I'm entrenched in the main story quest, and I'm of course playing on an ERP server. They're the only servers worth playing on. ERP servers coming to Ashes of Creation 2023. Steven, we need a definitive answer. If we're going to have the Tolnar, if we're going to have that cat mount that you just showed us on the last live stream, we need ERP servers and we need them now. ERP servers in Ashes of Creation. How do we feel? How do we feel, Dylan?
So when I saw that you put this topic as something that we could potentially talk about, I saw it as the other two types of servers, and then this one as like the joke extra, like whatever.
Oh, right.
But no, you have this one as the important part, and the others don't matter. So you throw me for a loop here. ERP servers, so servers that are designated for people who like to, and just in case anyone in chat is not aware, it is erotic roleplay. That's what ERP stands for. So you want Ashes of Creation to have ERP servers.
Yes, and I can't really go into it in detail because, of course, Dante, very young, is here. I don't want to
Yes.
dig into the RP servers too much, but yeah, RP servers, PvE servers, not at the top of my list. I will be asking a question every month leading up to the Q&A that they do at the end of every month for Ashes of Creation. It will, of course, only be about ERP servers until they finally answer it. It's the most pressing uh, I mean, the Ashes community as a whole, everybody I've polled, which is no one, is saying ERP. We want it. We need it. But no, for real though, for real, I actually don't listen, y'all. I do not want an ERP server, but I actually would love to see PvP RP server. To get serious for a second, I really would love to see some PvP RP servers. I think that those could certainly exist, or just be something that Steven designates as being something of more of a focus. It doesn't go away at all from his goal of these being PvP. The only real discussion, and I'm so glad we actually are doing a whole segment for this, because I would actually love to hear your opinion. I don't know it. Is the real difference is, will we allow any PvE servers in Ash of Creation? Especially as the community grows larger, as we get closer to the launch, as we see games like New World, which were supposed to be PvP games, having basically a complete opt-out system. Now, there are going to be players in New World and other MMOs that say, wait a minute, I want my opt-out system, Steven. How can I get it? I don't know the answer to this, and for real, Zillan, what is your take on it, and do you think it should exist at all?
I unequivocally do not think it should exist, and if it does, it will probably kill my interest in the game. And that is somebody who does not PvP, or I'm not gonna say doesn't. I don't like it. Like it doesn't it doesn't blow my skirt up. But so I used to play Ultima Online. I think I've told you that. That was my first MMO.
Yep.
All the way back in 1998. 18-year-old Zillan was playing Ultima Online, and back then in that game was kill anyone, anywhere except inside a town. And when they died, they dropped all their stuff, and you ride up and take it. And that the term PK, player killer, comes from Ultima Online. That's where that term originated, as far as I know. Now, maybe there's an older MMO that I don't know about, but I'm pretty sure. And I have friends who bought the game, and it was a $60 game, took it home, and you had to pay the $15. They didn't have the first month free like MMOs do now if you buy the box. No, you bought the game, you went home, you installed it, you patched it for like 3 days on a 56K modem, and then you had to pay $15 to log in on your first day. And they logged in, they ran around in town, thought about how crazy it was, ran outside of the town, got ganked by someone immediately, quit the game, uninstalled, turned off the credit card, and never touched it ever again. That's how like rage-inducing that was back then. Now, the truth is nowadays we have so much more competitive PvP games with Fortnite and Call of Duty and League of Legends and all of these games that people can deal with dying and losing stuff in video games more than they did back then. But anyways, after people complained for several years, sometime in like 2000, 2001 maybe, probably 2000, they introduced a expansion, and I can't remember the name, Renaissance? I think it was called Renaissance, where they took it and they split the world in half. And by in half, I don't mean like they cut the map. I mean there was literally 2 versions of the world. And so if you went to a server, on that server were 2 versions of the world. A different server was a different 2 versions of the world. And one of them had the original rule set, and the other side had no PvP. You know what happened? Everyone moved to the PvE area. Everyone. And then there was no one to curb crazy farming of mats and dungeons and gear and all that stuff. And the prices went through the roof. A house that used to cost 80,000 gold now costs 2 million gold, and now costs probably 50 million gold. But it really kept everything down. And so if you put a PvE server in, everyone would go to the PvE server because it's safer. And then that negates all of the systems that exist in the game now. So 18-year-old me was super excited about not getting ganked while I was mining. and was right there like, yes, oh sweet, we're gonna, I'm gonna be able to mine all day long, no problem. And I'd never even heard of or thought about, I guess, right, grinding or farming, the idea of like spending hours just doing the same thing over and over again. You didn't do that in Ultima Online pre-Renaissance, because if you did, somebody was going to come along, kill your ass, and take your shit. You know what I mean? And so as soon as that split happened, now I could spend all day long farming.
Yeah.
And the game was boring. It was not as much fun. The excitement was gone. All of those things. So no, I am absolutely not in favor whatsoever of a PvE only server.
And I couldn't agree with you more. And this will lead into my next question, which I hope doesn't get us too far off topic. And it is, I want to make sure we stay related to the PvP versus PvE server when we're talking about this. But it's almost like we're going to have to retrain the casuals to realize that with the risk comes the excitement of the reward. Because my question to you is, how do we maintain massive enough communities in a PvP world to survive? By the way, some of the things Danny's been writing,
and Dante and Danny are just flaming and roasting the show. Just
it's amazing.
It's well done. Well done.
So good. But yeah, I wish I could read everything out, but the two of them are just going absolute wild right now. Mm-hmm. Thank y'all. The commentary, the poetry, it's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
But yeah, Zillan, how we stick to the roots, we stick to Steven's goal, we stick to everything that Ashes stands for, and what our meme was tonight, which is actually about how you just can't do it without the other. Everything is so interconnected in this game. Is it do we reach out to more people and try to retrain them, or do we survive off of a smaller community? This seems to be, I know we've talked about this in different capacities on the show before, but is it possible to maintain a large, thriving community without any PvE servers? I mean, has a game proven that over the last 10 years, 15 years?
Well, no, because no one has tried. Well,
right.
I'm not going to say no one has tried. They have tried, but it's always been like every MMO that's like really a PvP MMO and kind of a gank anyone, anywhere in the world MMO, that's like the entire feature set. It's like, we're going to make an MMO, we're going to have classes and races, and the key feature of the game is you can kill anybody anywhere. And that doesn't work. And nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. However, with Ashes, you have all of these systems, the node system, like I'm willing to stick around and get ganked while I'm out mining or whatever, because the node system is fascinating. Caravan system is fascinating. All the nautical content is fascinating. The way that the dungeons open and close based on the nodes, all that stuff is so interesting. And you have the key factor of they've put a system in place that is designed to at least curb the outright PKing just to be a jerk. But you can still do it. So giving them the ability to do it, but putting a lot of risk on them for doing it kind of satisfies both ways. I will say that if this doesn't work, if this doesn't pull in people and somehow the griefing PK community figures out a way to like worm themselves around the system and still treat people badly, and the community all leaves, I really, really don't know what the answer is. If it doesn't work, I don't know if there is an answer.
Right. And maybe we could come up with a different word for what to call these servers. Like calling them PvP servers, that is what they are. But it's not just open world PvP. You can kill anybody you want and not have any repercussions. I think a lot of people, especially in 2019, who just played Classic WoW, if they hear PvP server and they're thinking of the only MMO they might have ever played, if they have like new players to MMOs, or just in general, if they haven't played MMOs, besides these modern ones where it's just, when I say modern, listen to me, the remake of Classic WoW, how they've just been like, that's PvP, and I don't like PvP. And there was really nothing built into the game to stop the PvP or to stop stream sniping or etc. Right? Is coming up. Maybe Steven could come up with a word that better represents what Ashes is, where it is PvP servers. There's no PvE servers, but we don't call them that. They're just first off, they're just servers, and two, we have to do like, and I guess I say we, like I work for Intrepid. Obviously, we don't, but Intrepid needs to, in the marketing, needs to sell that if you love PvP, you're welcome here. But if you don't love PvP, it's not just free for all sandbox PvP MMOs or classic WoW like you're used to before. Whatever advertisements, whatever marketing they do, so that they can sell to that player, which actually is a player like me who wants to do hardcore PvE and has very little interest in PvP, but I know enough about the game to know, wait, there's all these systems in place to stop it from just being, I'm going to get camped for an hour and there's nothing I can do and I'll lose everything.
So I'm not going to say that I stopped listening to you at a certain point in that tirade you just went on. But there was a point where my mind went off to other places, and I want to address something that you said. And that's the idea of you working for Intrepid. Like, can you even imagine?
Well, let's ask the chat. Imagine if Tennman worked for Intrepid.
No, wait, stop. Chat, just imagine Tennman sending an application to Intrepid as if they might actually hire this insanity that's sitting next to me right now. Like, imagine him being like, you know what? I'm just gonna send an application in. You know, we're just gonna send it over and see what they say. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Just think about that.
Yeah, that'd be crazy. That'd be insane.
Like, under name, he's writing Tennman. Like, that's not his name, but he's writing Tennman. Can you imagine? He would like rap. Yep. His cover letter would be a rap that he wrote for Margaret or something. I should
have done that. For real.
Danny says he has a tux.
He's got a nice tux. Yeah. Steven is gonna start spawning IRL bears in Tennman's IRL house. Tim did that. The funny thing is, Zillion here is trolling me because I applied for the content creator specialist position. I wrote a cover letter to Maggie. I tried to be very professional. And I should have done a rap. I should have actually just been exactly who I am. The rap would have gone over better. But there actually is some news on the content creator specialist update. And you're really not going to you may not get this piece of information from any other content creator this week. For real, Dante, listen to this. After waiting I sent it in quite a while ago, at least over a month ago now, when they were still had it on their website and they were still actively searching for that person before they had made any rounds or cuts. I wrote out a whole application and I applied for the content creator specialist. I told Zillion at the time. I'm surprised he waited till the 5th Voices of Verra to laugh at me, which I love, because I had a blast writing it all up and sending it into Intrepid. I found out a few hours before the show started that I did not get the position. Now, I did not expect to get the position, and I did not go through any interviews, but what I thought was so interesting was that they were going through all of their applicants and telling them they didn't get it. Why I think this is important is because that hopefully is a sign that they have hired the person or they're very close to doing so. I hope, and am predicting now, based on the email that I got from Intrepid, that we will hear who the content creator specialist is in the September update. That I'm making that prediction now. Bold claim from Tennman.
Okay, we're spewing hot takes on the show today. So Kit just jumped in and said, "Hey Kit, how are you doing, man?" Kit is one of the Wolf Pack. He's over here from Wolfheart's channel. Every time I go over there and check out Wolfheart streams, Kit's always hanging out, talking trash to him and whatnot in the comment section as he should. Danny says, yes, when I was still job hunting years ago, most would never write back even. Yeah, that's true. That's true. They typically don't write back, and then you're just left going, okay, well, I guess they hired someone, and that someone was not me. That really sucks. But yeah, I just wanted to leave you guys with the the image or the video image in your head that you make up of Tin Man filling out an application, a serious application, like, name, Tin Man, sex, not in a while. Like, I mean, I can't even imagine what
That's such a good joke.
What
That's such a good joke. It's so real. That's so real. That one, Dagger. I didn't know you were going to be playing your base archetype rogue. God, felt that one.
So yeah,
That was good.
I just want you guys to just wanted you guys to think about that. One thing that I do want to do is show off a little bit the video that we released. Sex whenever possible, Kit says. Yes, please would be a proper response in there. Yeah, all that would work out.
I was writing that. I literally was. I love that you knew that Austin Powers reference. Oh my God.
So we released a video on my channel today. It is a recap of the August update in under 2 minutes. That's the name of the video. I know probably a lot of you that are in here have already seen it, but we're going to watch it back again. One, because just in case somebody hadn't seen it, and two, because I like watching it. So, and you're watching the show, so you have to watch whatever I watch. So here we go. This is the video released today, the August live stream video recap in under 2 minutes.
August 2021, it's the end of Alpha 1. It's tough with COVID, it's touch and go. 70% of the team back in the studio. Hired new people this month, 8, but still no Alpha 2 date. Be patient, Tin Man, be patient, we just have to wait. No new lead announced, since the OG bar bounds. Jeffrey, if it was up to me, I would pick Maggie, she's been exemplary. Community leading with consistency, she's hungry, she's on that trajectory. 2 months away from an extra life, helping kids playing games through the strive. 5-minute video of Steven riding around on a terror bird. What's that? You don't know what a terror bird is? So this is a bird, and he is definitely a terror. Like, he's scary to a degree. Steven's a hella MC. I think we can all agree. 9 races and ashes, but Steven's a troll. New expansion, no $60 toll. Node system is the glue. Red lizard mount poop crystal. Bard plus bard equals menstrual. Steven's not allowed to wear sandals anymore? But damn, look at the ankle on a flip-flop hottie. Got me leaning over like Intrepid's leaning towards split body. Hybrid Comet still in the works. Dedicated to finding the middle ground. No doubt there's still fears around. But Steven is bound to confound and conquer that negative sound. I say we give him till the end of the next round. I'm not giving up, they could still astound. Node types are not switching after the beta, so take the time to study the data. Join a guild like a frat theta. With some mega chads you can call Darth Vader. No. Yes, new cat mount is in-game achievable. The furries are feisty, this was foreseeable. And that's it for August. The updates this month were modest. In the month that was the hottest. Ashes grows cold. Hibernation so altitude they can mold.
Oh, no. Who is this,
What?
Tin Man?
Oh, I didn't know the song was over. Hey, everybody, look who stopped in during the song. It's Steven the Sandal, everybody. Hey, everybody. What's that? Wow, the Alpha 2 date? I'm not allowed to tell anybody? Okay, I'll keep it a secret, Steven. Steven the Sandal, everybody. Hey, we'll see you later, buddy. Wow, big date. Whew, I'm going to take off work. Not that I'm allowed to tell anyone. I hate Steven the Sandal from Dante. Dante, I think Zillion agrees with you.
Dante with the comment that rap had more content than New World's last 3 betas combined. That's so funny. Imaginus says all Ashes updates from now on have to be done this way. They will. They will. That is exactly what we plan on doing. We are planning on basically on Friday when the updates happen on the last Friday of the month.
Yep.
Tin Man and I are going to spend from what it usually is about 3 o'clock our time all the way up to 10 o'clock our time, which is when this show starts, working on the rap, getting it going, come here, do the show, get off the show, go back to working on it, and get it released on Saturday morning. That's going to take a lot of time to.
Yes, we worked on it this month just as like a test, and obviously that was much later than we wanted to come out. I am planning to work super hard once a month, as long as it takes, to try to get that out on Saturday or Sunday everybody can go and watch somewhere around a minute to 2 minute long update each month.
Emo says, "Oh, I meant the updates from Intrepid should be done this way." So,
that's funny.
Can you imagine Steven rapping the update?
Oh, Steven can actually rap. Do you want to hear Steven rap? I'm just dude, the callback. You weren't ready for it. Everyone's like, no. It's way too soon. How is Steven back on the show already? Did you say super hard? Super
by the way,
TCG.
I did get a comment on one of the raps from that video, and we now have a name for those videos. It's a wrap up.
Oh,
Why
didn't we think of that?
Because we're stupid.
We didn't think of that. I did see that comment. I read that comment and I was like, oh wow, yeah, that would make so much sense. No, it was brilliant comment.
Dante says, "Is Steven's rap name Young Flip Flop?"
Young Flippy Flop, baby, straight from the street, literally flip flop on the street. Yeah, that's how it goes.
That's so dumb. But no, I really do have a really high degree of appreciation for how much actual relevant information from the live stream update that you were able to cram into that minute and 40 seconds. Like, you put a lot of stuff in there. It was really, really impressive. And then getting to go back to it and listen to it over, because when I'm editing it and I'm putting all the little visual elements to it, I have to listen to it 1,000 times. And so, like, it gets in my head, and then, like, all day long I'm sitting there singing the raps or whatever it is. I was singing Brewbeer, I was just running around going, riding up. I have a high degree of appreciation for how much stuff you stuffed into that small amount of space. So good job there, and we'll definitely do more. And Chad, I guess we'll let you guys know, we kind of want to do like video game reviews and patch note reviews and like anything in that style. I'm wondering if you guys would want to see that. Like, what if we just like reviewed the new Call of Duty but in rap? Would that be ridiculous?
No, I mean, I think it could really be any gaming news update that we want to do, whether it be any amount of patch notes. I actually have a really great idea for a Mount Me Daddy for New World, and it starts like this. And then it ends.
Oh, that's right. There's no mounts. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
You could just
that's
silence.
Fun. I really liked working on that rap. That was I really put the time in. I really worked hard on that one this week. Yeah.
Dante says that we need to get me some glasses and you to be bald, and then I cosplay Steven and you cosplay Jeff Bezos, and we do a rap battle for Ashes versus New World.
Oh, wait, now we're getting into epic rap battles of gaming. That was actually an idea I gave to Dylan. He was like, brilliant idea. That would be a lot. We're not quite ready for that. We're not quite ready. But yeah, I actually dreaming of doing that. I thought for some reason you were going to be dressed up as Steven, and then I would just be Maggie and just wear a wig. We should do that for Halloween. Oh my God. Oh yes. We finally did it. We broke them, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Voices of Verra with your host, Tennman and no one else. Oh, shoot. And no one else. Oh, feels good. We're live. I've got my sparkly cup. Her name is Stephanie, of course. Oh, everybody knows Stefan, the microphone. This is Stefan. Testing 1, 2, 3. All right. Oh, got everybody out here today. Steve, the name of my chair, of course. So yeah, just introducing everybody to just introducing everybody on the street. Oh, hey, how's it going? Welcome back.
Did you?
Did I introduce everybody?
No.
Yes.
No.
Stephanie is always thirsty, if you know what I mean. For sure.
Did you suggest that for Halloween we should do the show with me dressed as Stephen Sharif?
That's correct.
And you dressed as Margaret Crone?
Absolutely. That's a beautiful. And we pretend we do the whole Voice of Verra, but like it's a live stream. I'll do like, look at these pictures. These are wonderful. I worked on this new mount. Awesome. Check this out. Oh, wait, my mower's here. 1 second. And then I just get up and leave and just great role play. Also, can I say something that I'm actually in a lot of trouble?
I mean, you're going to anyway, so yeah, say whatever.
No. When I made the joke about my cup named Stephanie, I think we might have gotten a downvote on the stream, and it may have been because of me. I'm going to take full responsibility and credit for derailing us. This has been fun, y'all. I'm getting fired. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed your time with Tin Man.
Yeah, fun is definitely the word that I was thinking of. Definitely fun, guys. So just as you're going through your week, and you're spending time with your family and going to the movies and doing things that you enjoy, pray for me, because I am on Discord calls with this guy, listening to the stupid raps that he comes up with, and then he's like, hey, make a video for this, and et cetera. So yeah,
we should we haven't shown them. We should head out with some brew beer, something that'll lift your spirits. I know how much you love that song.
The downvote is from Steven. He doesn't like impersonations.
Steven was here. He's like, I do not look like a sandal. I look like a human being. Yeah.
Machinist says, no, Tin. He tried and failed to fire you already. Don't worry about it.
That's so true. That is so true.
Dante says, Zillin, if God listened to prayers, you wouldn't be on a show with Tin Man right now. God dang. Yeah. Oh, y'all are brutal around here. Yeah, Des Revis says, consider those prayers sent. That's too funny. So what we're going to do, guys, we're going to play the Brew Bear rap that we played last week, just because we're so proud of it and because it's so stupid. And then we're going to get out of here for the week. We will not have Labor Day next week, and most of the family stuff has been resolved, so we should be able to put more time into it and get you guys a show with a little more content for next week. So you guys enjoy the Brew Bear rap, and we will see you guys next Friday at 10 o'clock Central Time right here on YouTube.
Love y'all.
Riding up, brought my keg to the party. 30 years late like Dr. Marty. Bueller, mark me as tardy. Get it, I'm late like ashes. I'm an upcoming mount in this MMORPG. I'm an OG, but this rap ain't rated G. My balls are blue, I'm a brown bear, thicker than Pooh Bear. Rhyme bear back, I'm a brew bear. Knock, who's there? Let me into the tavern. Ladies swarming like bees, falling to the knees. I'm talking honey to the honeys. Ciders confirmed. Double D's. I'm not impressed. You're lagging. What is this, a stress test? Honey beer is all that I digest. I'm that hype sensation. Ashes of creation. I got big bones. I'm a thick boy around me all night long like I'm your little toy. Mount me daddy.
Good night, y'all.
Mount me daddy.